So what's up guys, I'm back from Mexico, I'm back in Berlin, I'm extremely tired, I'm extremely jet lagged, my body has no idea when it's day and when it's night and when to wake up and when to sleep, so I'm completely confused, but in any case, from the post yesterday it seemed like some people were interested in a tutorial on the Cyberpunk concept car. I really made it completely for fun and I didn't record anything, so I can't really make a step-by-step tutorial, or I could make a new car. But what I'm going to do is just a breakdown video because I think that can still be interesting to people and I can just kind of explain how I did it, how I came up with it, and that's pretty much it. That's what the video is about, so let's jump right into Blender. So this is my first saved file. So this is the furthest back that we can look. And as you can see, since I'm working on my laptop and the default Blender, I forgot to turn on external data to automatically pack everything. But basically, I think it was one of these textures or even this texture. And basically, I just used the Dodge Challenger as a basic reference to get like the basic sizes down and lines down. And that's also what you can see here. Basically, basically the lines here are the Challenger lines, not these. These are like the Challenger lines that I kind of just ripped and stole. I just got the main shape down. And here I just started doing whatever and extruding whatever, doing some Mustang weirdness and some wings and something down here. I have no idea what I was doing here. Also, I had a hood scoop that I actually decided to delete later. So that's how I started. This is the mesh, very simple. I got a mirror modifier on there. I got a subdivision, really just basic Blender. So then we're gonna hop into the next file. The next file, this is also how I did my naming, by the way. In the next file, I started adding some stuff. So for example, this tire, you might recognize if the textures are not also gone, since I didn't bake everything into the map. Here you see it. So here's the famous Badger tire, which still is for free on my Patreon for download, with all the nice comments about me on the tire. So beautiful tire. Get it if you want it, if you need it. Otherwise, what did I do here? It's still the same base. You can see here. Here. So it looks like. Oh, I've got a lot of modifiers. Bad thing. And basically what I did to, or I guess I can isolate it. So this is the base. So you see the base actually barely changed. I just cleaned up some stuff, made the edge nice. I kind of made this thing, just cleaned some stuff up, and I deleted the hood scoop again. That's pretty much it. Nothing crazy. The wide body, I did an interesting little technique here. So the wide body is really just this thing here. So you see the mesh, but that's really just with modifiers. So I got, oops, let me close this. I got a subdivision, a shrink wrap, a solidify, and a mirror. Subdivision, obvious. Shrink wrap, kind of obvious. I chose to only wrap this outer line. So I've got a vertex group somewhere here, and I only wrap the outer line. And the benefit is I can just make it thicker or less thicker. And also I can just take this whole thing and rotate it and make it more like this or whatever. So it's really easy to change. And also what's pretty cool, if I just copy and paste this bad boy, I can just put another wheel here and it just fits, you know? So that was the setup I did for this. And that's also kind of what I did for these panels on the hood. This is also shrink wrapped, not with a vertex group, but I did a lot of shrink wrapping. These things are just curves that I mirrored together. So that's pretty much it. On these pipes, I did a quick little trashy technique, but it worked well. So basically how I did this is, there's probably better ways, so don't hate me because I'm beautiful. I do less. So basically I did this and then I just beveled this bad boy and then I went to vertices and I had these little squares, and my long years of experience in Blender made me click every single thing. Probably a better way, but I didn't really feel like finding the best way. I just chose this way. And then I basically just subdivided it. So there you have it. And then I had this, and what I did then was bend this bad boy, wherever bend is, simple deform I mean. And I clicked bend and also probably bumped this up and I changed axes and I somehow probably did something like this and I chose different axes. This one probably, no, I don't even know what I did. Not probably this one. No, it's still the wrong axis. Wait 1 second. What did I do here? I probably rotated it like this and then, yeah, it's already applied. And then I bent it over some, here it is. So then I bent it just like this or however you want it. And I scaled it down and scaled it so it fits my needs. Just like this. And that's pretty much it. So that's how I made this thing here. Here it's already applied. I add a solidifier on top. You can see I perfectly merged everything together. So not a very good job, but it didn't really matter. This was about fun and speed. The exhaust pipe's also just a curve and that's it. What else? These you can assume are also just curves. These metal plates. I didn't shrink wrap, yeah, to get this metal shape, and this is just a basic shape, very complex. This window part, I just copy and pasted out of my model and shrink wrapped onto it, the solidifier, and I just killed this little polygon here, stuff like that. This is also shrink wrapped from out here. You see it bloop, stickered on that boy. Same here, shrink wrapped that on, just shrink wrapped everything on. These highly detailed headlights are just cylinders mirrored. Yeah, I guess that's it. You see the rear I haven't touched yet. Okay, I think that's everything for this. So let's go to the next one. Now I pretty much just added more detail. I started adding a little bit of texturing. And more lights. I made the lights more detailed. I just kept a flat shading on the inside to have some more detail and smooth shading on the outside. Here I added these panels. I don't know. I just added some random detail. I added this random thing that I just quickly modeled. I have no idea what the hell this is and how I came up with this. And I made this minigun also just out of cylinders and arrayed them in a circle. Yeah, pretty simple shape. I don't know if I have to explain much more on that. Here are my highly detailed headlights part 2, and I've got a second version of highly detailed headlights where this part is a emission with a applied, not named emission shader. Is there anything else new? I think that's almost kind of it. I still didn't do the rear. I made this weird panel on the roof. And that's pretty much it. I think we can move to the next file. I guess here, yeah, here I haven't textured yet. I just got basic materials, just to kind of separate it. Oh, the rim we didn't talk about. So the tire I talked about, the rim I didn't talk about. The rim is really just, you kind of already see what it is. It's a cylinder. And I just deleted some faces here, like the hole and here, and I just added these weird square panels, like really, as usual, no rocket science, like it's just a cylinder moved and extruded back and forth. Very, very simple rim. Okay, I think that's it. I saved a lot here. What is next? This was number 2. Now we're going to number 3. I think now we're going towards texturing. Is this textured? No. I know what I did here. So here you see it's one combined mesh now. And I did that because I got ready for texturing, and I assume I probably got some UVs on here. So if we go to edit mode, yes, here, these are the UVs for painting. And how I did this was just smart unwrap, the classic, and then I used the UV pack master 2 and packed it up so it's nice and tidy. In the end, I realized I should have unwrapped per material, but yeah, I just did this because it was quicker and I didn't use my brain and was in the game asset zone. But yeah, there would have been better ways to unwrap, but this was a fast little way. So that's pretty much it. Nothing changed. I just got it ready for painting. So now I'll show you how I painted it. I did not paint it in Blender because Substance Designer or Painter is just unbelievably fast. Actually, thanks to YouTube, it's for free for me because I've got a teacher license. So I can kind of say Substance Painter is free, but it's not free. It costs money, but I use it since it's free for me. So now we're gonna open my file. So I just imported the FBX. And basically I just made use of the library and drag and dropped some materials on it. That's pretty much it. So here it is, it's loading up. And basically how this works is if you have like the car paint material, like here, let's get a bit closer. You see there's like rust under here and scratches on the edges and stuff like that. How this is done is by choosing a good looking material. I'm not sure which one I took. I think it was even this. Oh, it's under Smart Materials. And it was one of these. It might have even been a red one, but I changed the color. I just actually, or maybe this. It actually turned out to be red at the end. Maybe it was this. But before you just drag and drop it on any model, it's important to bake it. So you go over to texture settings, and then you go to this polygon thing, and you press bake mesh maps. You have to press that, otherwise it won't detect edges and the material won't work. Once you have that, you just drag and drop the material, and then you can like tweak settings, change some stuff. And here, for example, the color you can tweak, and also change the metallic and stuff like that. So we can just make it green. Now you've got a green car, you know. So very, very basic. That's how I made the complete car. So the texturing didn't take long, even though you might think it took long. It was very, very quick. So here you see I'm making a 4K texture, but still it's not very high res because I'm making one texture for the complete car. It would have been better if I would have made unwraps per material, but really for this render it didn't matter. Okay, once that's done, you just export the maps. And then we're going to go to the final file, and that's rendering this bad boy. I think it was this one. And also, as you can assume, seeing everything I've done so far, the light setup is also very, very simple. So I made a simple camera. The camera is 80mm of focal length. I made a black backdrop. It turned out to be black. Actually, I thought about making it a color, so you don't really need a black backdrop. And I got a road texture from textures.com. Now that's finally loaded. Another texture I took from textures.com was this metal plate. That wasn't from Substance. That's pretty much it. But yeah, this is how it looks in Blender. You see the rear is highly detailed. And yeah, it's just one mesh now. And also I was so sloppy, I actually forgot to mirror the rims by applying everything. Also how I applied all modifiers, you might be interesting. There's an easy way in case you don't know. Under preferences and under add-ons, there is modifier tools here. So if I had, let's use a cube before my little tiny laptop crashes. If you have an array here, you just press apply all, and that works like for all stuff. So this is a little tool, little side tip on how I easily applied everything to the car, applied all the shrink wrap, stuff like that. Okay, how to render this? You see here's a road and the backdrop, and now let's focus on the lighting. So we're gonna hide this maybe. Let's keep the tires so we see what was there. I don't have a sky. I thought about using an HDR. I didn't in the end. And this is the light setup. So I have just area lights, lighting some stuff just by hand. I just pushed it around until it looked good. I got some point lights, not mirrored, just random point lights for the rims here. And point lights to highlight the exhaust pipe and stuff like that. So if we go back to the complete car and maybe go to render mode and kill my laptop once again. My laptops, please stop. Don't render on this tiny laptop. But here you can kind of see the light setup. So if I shut down these here, see this was a rim light. If I shut down this bad boy, rim light. And also up here, these and this is also just like a highlight on the exhaust. See, it's gone. And if I take away this roof light, actually does make a big difference because this also does a lot. So this is just like the main reflection, like on the silhouette. And also in the front, I'm just lighting up like the bumper and stuff. And also this is probably these highlights here. Now they're gone. So you see how I kind of do it. So we have one last light here in the front. It's this skinny boy. Yeah, if I take it away, it is darkness. That's pretty much it. So very, very simple light setup. I have a second render. You might maybe wonder about how I made that one. It must be light D, I think. And light D is my half dome asset. That's it. So it's really just my half dome asset, a free HDR from HDR Haven. So this is what it looks like. It's the dome. Here's my shader, link I can put in the description if you're interested. Actually, that's my most sold asset by far. This also shouldn't be a commercial, but this is what I used, just in case you wondered. So it's pretty simple. You can just add the HDR and drop the car. So this was the quickest render. There's nothing really to explain here. If you were going to use this asset, you just go over to the world settings here, change the HDR here, and you go over to the dome shader and change the HDR here. So you have to change the HDR twice, and that's pretty much it. So now you see the car is on this beautiful parking lot. Even has a friend over there stretched into the ground. Yeah, that's it. Like, there's nothing more to this. This is it. Yeah, I guess that's it. What else should I say? These lights are glowing now, you see. I just gave the center some emission and it's just reflecting into the chrome, so very basic. But actually looks kind of okay for how basic it is. Yeah, that's it. Simple, isn't it? So that's it. I hope you learned something. I know it wasn't a step-by-step tutorial, but still I think a breakdown can also help you learn, like how I did it basically. If you know Blender, it should have helped. And also using Substance Designer in a simple fashion. Otherwise, this video idea actually came up through my Instagram because I posted the car there and then people were interested in a tutorial. So that's how this tutorial came upon. And also there's a lot of stuff about my Mexico trip on Instagram. So if you want to see more of like what's happening around YouTube and in the backstory and just more about myself, head over to Instagram. Otherwise, if you want the half dome asset, you can get it. You can make your own. It doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you. I guess that's it, and see you next week. Goodbye.